Hey gang, my name is Johnny. I am a water quality engineer with TapScore, and today I am going to walk you through a well testing report, a drinking water well testing report provided by TapScore, and show you what is on a lab report, how to use the lab report, how to make sense of the lab report, hopefully get you more comfortable with laboratory testing because it's so important for safe drinking water and for other things. Let's get started. All right, so I'm here at an example customer's lab report, a customer who shall remain nameless. The laboratory report consists of a number of sections. First, you're going to see all results, then properties, health, aesthetics, plumbing, treatment, and a comparisons section. TapScore really goes ham trying to make sure you understand your results. So that means each of these sections is going to talk about your lab results and tell you what they mean in a slightly different way so that you feel comfortable understanding these contaminants, these parameters, and whether these concentrations are high or low. There's some very general information first. Every sample that gets collected is going to need a chain of custody or sample information card telling where is the sample coming from, who collected the sample, what time, what location. That information is called the chain of custody or the sampling information. That's always available on every lab report. And then you'll see some of that summarized on the report itself. So here you see the date and the location and whether it was a treated sample, like was there a filter or a treatment system on site or not. It's all really helpful when you collect samples over time, let's say once every couple of years, or if you have different properties and you're trying to keep track of which report is which. See, it's called a certificate of analysis, by the way. Most lab results are called certificates of analysis or COAs. And they'll have an identifier like a 6-digit alphanumeric. In this case, it's 37CDHH. God, I can't read. 37CDH6. All right. So, all results. This can be overwhelming, but I assure you, with some patience and maybe a cup of coffee or tea, it's not that overwhelming. Everything in a TapScore report is clickable, right? So you can easily read more about every contaminant, about the contaminant itself, the sources of that contaminant, any known research into the health impacts of that contaminant. In the case of radon, it's a carcinogen. That's commented out there. And of course, what you're going to want to know when you get a lab report back and some things are yellow and scary looking, like how do you make things better? And in water filtration, you're usually buying a filter or a treatment system or a conditioner. And so knowing which filtration technology to buy for a given a contaminants reduction, also available if you click around on these TapScore reports. You'll note that each of the parameters or contaminants is listed as a row. This sample is it's bad. This is you wouldn't really want to drink this water, mostly because the lead concentration here is 17.6 parts per billion. You hover over the numbers and you're going to get unit conversions because there's a lot of unit conversions in water. You might see ppm or ppb or milligrams per liter or micrograms per liter. Fortunately, with TapScore, all that is neatly organized and you can switch between units easily. With a high amount of lead, you're seeing a pretty high yellow bar. You're seeing that is the evaluation right here. Got the result here. The evaluation, is it high, is it low here? The method that was used by the laboratory and the detection level of that method. You want to see contaminants at a particularly low concentration, right? Like you care if there's a small amount of lead. So you want to make sure the method has a detection level that's low enough to capture the concentrations you care about. So at TapScore, you'll always see the method that was used. You'll see the detection levels. TapScore is famous for choosing very low detection levels, so you'll always see as much as is practical and technically possible for most of these metals and organics. You'll see the analysis date, and you'll be able to view other details. Importantly, if you've looked at lab reports, you'll know that evaluating whether or not something is high or low is kind of a big part of the narrative of any lab report. So in TAPSCORE, you can click this button called Change Evaluation, and you can compare your water quality to the health guidance level, which is the most stringent or conservative recommendation for every contaminant. It's going to want lead to be 0 and arsenic to be 0, or as close to 0 as technically possible. You can also choose the federal EPA maximum contaminant level as your benchmark. These are the guidelines that utilities have to meet in order to pump that water into the distribution system into your home. So if we change the evaluation from the health guidance level to the EPA MCL, you see these evaluation bars change. And that's because, according to the EPA MCL, the lead is at 17 parts per billion. Still bad. It's still yellow, but the bar has gone down a little bit because I think the health guidance value was 0 and the MCL was 15. So it's less scary from the point of view of the EPA MCL. Meanwhile, coliform bacteria have popped all the way to the top here because EPA says there's absolutely no tolerance for coliform bacteria in water utility water. And so it's a full bar of yellow. You can change this evaluation to the MCL, to the HGL, to the MCLG. There's various options in here. The whole point is we want you to be able to see how your water quality stacks up, how it compares to different benchmarks, because different organizations, different states, and the federal government, they all have different opinions on many of these contaminants, namely like what is an acceptable concentration. You can also jump all the way over here to comparisons, as I'm doing right now. And as the internet loads the screen here, you will see a way to compare your results in this column to the averages of nearby groundwater or well water, nearby surface water, water in other wells in your state, in this case Connecticut, and water in other utility-connected homes in your state. You can compare on a national level. You can compare against various other lab reports that you have. You can even compare against bottled water. Whole point is here, we want you to see how your concentrations of the things found in your water compare against these other sources. Super helpful for getting a real intuitive idea of if your water quality is good or bad. And as I said, in this example, the water quality is pretty bad. 11 out of 99. This is the TAPSCORE algorithm's evaluation of the overall water quality of the sample, and that's pretty bad. 11 out of 99 is pretty much don't drink it. There are a couple other sections here that help you kind of get to the bottom of what matters in your report. Tells you if your water is soft or hard. These other general parameters are listed under properties. You get this health analysis. Which things found in the water are going to be associated with which kinds of risks. So kidney risks, known carcinogens in your tap water, cardiovascular risk factors in your drinking water, GI or stomach-related concerns like the coliform in your drinking water. You can also view in terms of taste and color and odor what things in your water are causing those funny tastes, or like that red color might be iron, or that smelly egg smell might be hydrogen sulfide gas. And then finally, a plumbing section. What are these detections that we're finding telling you about what's in your appliances? So hardness, for example, will clog up pipes and hurt appliances over time. But this plumbing section goes into more detail about the various detections and how they are related to appliances and the plumbing in your home. Finally, there is a treatment section where when you get a bad water quality sample result back, you'll spend a good amount of your time. And in particular, you're going to want to know how to make things better, what kind of filter to buy. And maybe you're thinking of a whole home filter installed at the wellhead, or in the garage, or at the entrance to the house. Or you've got a smaller problem, or the kind of problem where you just need to treat the water in one place, like at the drinking water tap in the kitchen, but not everywhere else. Sometimes you got to do both. So the treatment section is going to tell you for your lab report what to worry about and how to fix it. In this case, it's coming up with a couple of recommendations. First and foremost, reverse osmosis. It tells you it's typically installed at the point of use, and it's because of the high lead level, the gross alpha levels, the uranium levels. There are a bunch of issues on this lab report that reverse osmosis is going to make improvements on. And you can compare these various technologies, scrolling through them like this, as to what they are likely to reduce from your report. You can also look at the full table and see, for my sample results, all the issues that were found in the water, which of these technologies is going to provide the best reduction across the board. This is really helpful when you go to purchase filtration and a treatment technology, which, it can be cheap. Sometimes you get a solution for under $1,000, but if you have bad well water and you need to install something pretty serious to make the drinking water drinkable and the shower water pleasant to shower in, then you're going to be spending couples of thousands of dollars, maybe as much as $10,000 for the home. You want to get it right. Having a laboratory report like this, which goes through all of your results, recommends the kinds of treatments, technologies you need, helps you, really pinpoint what filtration and treatment solutions to buy for your home. At the very least, helps your installer, the filtration company that you go with, helps them understand what the main issues are for filtration and treatment. There's 20, 30 different technologies out there, and they all have different strengths and weaknesses. So when you get your laboratory report back, you have a ton of information on it. The whole idea behind a TAP score laboratory report is that it makes it easy for you to see what a problem is and how to fix it. If you have questions, there's always live support, chat, email, phone, just a click away. But we try to put as much information as we can in the report to help you get smart about your drinking water and make, if necessary, the right filtration treatment decisions when that time comes. I will leave it there. If you have any questions at all about your drinking water, about your lab testing, do not hesitate to put those questions in the comments below. Again, my name is John Pujol. Thanks for listening, and I hope you learned something about drinking water and lab testing today.